Want there. Hey, welcome back to Dealing with the Deckers. I'm Candace Decker on the Gulf Coast of Florida, and this is Jamie Decker, my sister-in-law, co-host, fellow realtor, and she is located in the northwest suburbs of Chicago and southern Wisconsin. And today we have something a little controversial. So what do we got?
Yeah, so obviously we know we've talked about this a lot. The market out there is uber competitive. Buyers are quite literally pulling out all the stops to try to beat all the other offers and win the house. And there's one thing that's a little controversial that, some buyers are submitting with their offers, and we call them love letters. So what these are letters from the buyer to the seller, explaining how much they love the house, why getting that house would be so, invaluable to that buyer, their family. But oftentimes they go a little bit too far, and I guess in our opinion, they talk about specifics about their children, their pets, everything. And recently, the National Association of Realtors has come out and said that these letters are a big no-no. They can really violate fair housing. So it's something that's really interesting because we are still seeing them. They are still being used right now because buyers are just trying to do whatever they can to be different than the competition.
Yeah, so in this market right now, across the country, we talked to a lot of agents and they're saying, look, we have listings or we're working with buyers who are trying to get this listing, this home, where we're seeing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I've heard up to 100 offers on one single home. So agents and buyers are trying to pull out all the stops they possibly can right now. And I think in some markets, buyers, they just don't even know what else to do. Maybe they're coming in $100,000 over the ask price, and not everybody can go cash, right? So they're like, what can we do so that we can make our offer look more appealing to one that maybe comes in higher, one that waives more contingencies? What's going to make us look better? So they're like, let's pull at the seller's heartstrings and let's see what we can get away with. Like, how cute are our babies? How cute are our dogs? How cute is our family? What can we tell them to make them want to work with us? And these letters, as you and I have both seen them before, full page letters. Some of them are sob stories. Some of them are heartwarming. Some of them, are talking about how they envision their children waking up on Christmas morning and coming downstairs, and there's the tree and the fireplace, and they go on, and then they're sharing pictures of their family.
Exactly. And so why is this a problem, right? I mean, a lot of people say, what's wrong with that? Like, if a seller wants to read that or whatever, like, who cares? But really the problem is with the Fair Housing Act. So if you're not familiar what that is, basically it's just trying to protect people against any sort of discrimination or biases against them. So, think obviously race, gender, ethnicity, but even going beyond that to, religion, even protected classes. So technically, a lot of people don't know this in real estate, children are a protected class. So, talking about children and things like that really shouldn't be addressed in real estate. So kind of when you're writing a letter like that, you're essentially calling out all those things, talking about Christmas morning, you're insinuating that you're Christian, familial status. So, if one person is talking about, their nuclear family and another maybe talking about, their same-sex family, or they're single and they don't have kids, are they looked at differently? So there's so many factors that come into play, and you just really don't want to bring that into one. This is a huge business decision, a financial decision, should be looked at as far as price, terms, things like that. But then second, you are opening yourself up as a seller to potentially, legality issues. And then as an agent, as a listing agent, you're also opening yourself up to those sort of legal things. So personally, the last listing that I had that we got lots of offers in, I received a lot of these letters, and my response was, I will not be opening or presenting any buyer letters per NAR. These can violate the Fair Housing Act. Thank you for understanding. And everyone who got that email responded very graciously, said thank you so much for letting me know, and they were very understanding of it. But I think that's just going to be my policy going forward. I've seen other agents write in the MLS, do not submit any buyer letters with your offer. So we are seeing some people starting to, just kind of take those off the table. Don't even send them to us. Keep it strictly price, terms, things like that. And I think that's the safest way to go.
Yeah, the first love letter I ever got was 8 years ago, and it was an investor property. And I said, I'm not showing this to the seller. Like, there's no way I'm going to even put the emotions involved in this.
Yeah.
So we're seeing it that long ago, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But I think that, realtors just trying to skate by to, get their offer accepted. They're doing everything, but I don't think the rules are really black and white. Like, we didn't get an email that said, please do not submit this love letter, right? They didn't do that. But now we're seeing NAR coming out saying like, hey, if you do this, you're opening yourself up, to these potential problems.
Definitely. And we'll include the link to that article from NAR. We'll put it in the comments below so that people can actually read it. It really kind of lays it all out, just in case other agents out there have never heard this, because I think there's been a lot of miscommunication and misinformation across the country. That some people are thinking this is just like a state by state thing or MLS by MLS, but it's coming from the National Association of Realtors. So, it might be just something to just keep in the back of your pocket and think of the next time you're going to submit a letter like that, or you're going to accept them on behalf of your seller, and make sure your seller knows, hey, by opening this, there's a risk here, and make sure that they're aware of that.
Yeah, I think there's 100% a risk, because you don't know in this world, especially with just how heated this market is right now. People are getting really, really upset. Okay, so I just posted the link to that NAR article, by the way. So we as listing agents, we work at the direction of our seller, right? So at the end of the day, the seller is the one who makes the decision, and we are the messenger, where some agents and maybe potential buyers think that we have the ultimate say, which is not always the case. So I know recently, just because how heated the market is, agents have been getting extremely upset if, let's say, the seller changes their mind last minute. They said they were going to do highest and best offers, and then last minute they decided, nope, I love that one, I'm just going to go ahead and accept it. I can't stop the seller from accepting that offer. So then the agent gets really, really, really upset, and there's not a lot we can do about it.
Yeah, that's really true. Another thing to kind of think about is, as an agent, you're bringing in, 5, 10, 15, 20 offers. You have to present each and every one of those offers, no matter what the terms are. You have to present every single one to your seller. And just, we're not trying to play the woe is me card as far as, oh, it's a lot of offers to go through. It's a good problem to have, but it takes a ton of time to compile all of those offers. You and I, usually we use like a multiple offer spreadsheet, so that our sellers can clearly see each term apples to apples next to one another, so that they can look at every offer. But just think if you were to add something like that into the mix, where here's all the specifics of the offers, and then, well, this person has a dog, and this person just had a baby, and this person lost their job and now they got a new job, and this house is going to be great for them. Who knows what's in these letters? But that just adds like a whole nother, from a buyer's perspective, I understand it could maybe help elevate your offer, and pull out the heartstrings. But, as a seller, you already have enough to go through with all these offers and the terms, that throwing something like that in is just going to make you more confused. So I think keeping to the terms and the black and white of everything is best. And at the end of the day, they could totally make those letters up. You would hope that they don't, but who knows? Like hey, maybe if we say this, or hey, we saw, when we were in their house that, they had this, decor in their house. So if we play to that, with them, or they have kids, we'll tell them about our kids, or we don't have kids, but we'll pretend we do. Who knows? So just keep to the black and white of the offers, and I think everyone will be better off for it.
You just totally blew my mind with this whole other idea that you could just make these up.
I mean, no one's double checking, right? I mean,
that is true. So I feel like showing homes for buyers, they're always looking around. This is why I always tell sellers to depersonalize, because buyers are like, oh, what's their favorite football team? And then they're like, oh, look at their wedding pictures, look at their family, how many grandkids do they have? Oh, look, they like to vacation here. And all of a sudden they compile this whole profile about the seller to use to their advantage. People are smart, and they're like, okay, how am I going to win this? And they also always want to know, why are they selling, right? It's like the age-old question the buyers want to know. Why is the seller selling their home? Which normally we don't ask the agent, the listing agent, that, but because of how insane the market is right now, we're asking for our buyers, why are they moving? Where are they going? When do they need to leave? Because we're trying to strategize, how can we make our offer look the best?
Exactly. And you did a great webinar with some other top agents in the country about how to win in this market for your buyers. And buyer love letters didn't come up as a topic. We're talking, terms, removal of contingencies, very strong strategies to help our buyers win, and not resting on, hopefully this pulls at their heartstrings. Like we're sticking to the pure, figures, stats, and everything to win that way.
And I think it's so rare, going back to that webinar we did, it's so rare anyway for anything besides money and how is it going to make the seller's life easier come to actually win a bid, right? I mean, let's be real, like money talks, right?
Yes.
And I would just think that it's so rare that a seller's like, you know what, that baby is so cute, I think I'm going to take $10,000 less because of it.
Yes, so true. In this market, it's especially money. The money is where the game changer is going to be. So come in strong with your price, with your terms, and leave all that other fluffy stuff for another day, a different market. It's not the market for it.
I heard somebody told me once that realtors just spread fairy dust on everything. Like that to me is like the analogy of like, we just make everything, try to seem so great. I feel like the love letters like little fairy dust, but in this instance is like, I would like to avoid Fair Housing Act, laws. So we're calling no-goes on the love letters. We're calling them liability letters.
There you go. Yeah. And not just for ourselves, because obviously this is our livelihood. We want to make sure we don't get in trouble and can continue doing this job, but also for the sellers. I mean, we're at their direction, sure, but they're also relying on us. They wouldn't know that doing something like that is, could be a violation of fair housing and put them at jeopardy. So it's our job to really watch out for their best interests and let them know, hey, this could be a liability, and like I really don't want to accept these and have you read them because of that. And if they're like, yeah, that's cool, then you definitely need to go that route, because they wouldn't know that this is even a thing unless you as their agent advise them.
Right. And this always, I feel like we always say this, but it goes back to like working with a realtor who knows what they're doing. And I just saw something earlier today on Instagram that it said, if you think all realtors are the same, then you've never worked with a really good one.
Very true. Very
Yeah.
true.
And
Yeah.
this 100% comes to play. So if you guys have any questions about love letters or multiple offers or how you can make your offer look better, agents, if you are interested in our multiple offer spreadsheets, we're always happy to share that stuff too. And we will catch you on the next Dealing with the Deckers.